Raekwon. Raekwon, can you have a seat over there? Yes, sir. There you go, my brother. Yeah, a little bit over.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to the NCOA. We are live at Lakeshore at Midway, Kentucky. So welcome, everyone, for joining the broadcast. We are celebrating Women's History Month here at Lakeshore. So we're going to go around and introduce ourselves. If you're first time joining us on our chapter chats, we're just going to go around for brief introductions, starting with our president.
Hello, I'm Raymond Maxwell, president of the NCOA.
I'm Asia Rivers. I'm the vice president of the NCOA.
Hi, I'm Daphne Booker Harris, the treasurer of the NCOA.
Hello, I'm Todd Harris, the executive director of the NCOA.
Hello, I'm Rayshawn Carter Kamal. I am the secretary of the NCOA.
Hello, my name is William Rivers.
Hi, I'm Joy Maxwell.
Perfect. And again, Miss Mel, we're streaming live. All right, so and Miss Melody McGuire is our one of our newest board members. So today we're going to talk about Women's History Month in honor of our special guest, which she's actually not here, but she's one of the founders of Lakeshore. And she created this company in 1954. Her name is Ethel Kaplan. Miss Kaplan created this company she was a teacher. She started as a school teacher. Through her endeavors as teaching children, she began to develop products that they needed. And so here we are, well over 50, 60 years later, and this large company. Miss Melody, did you want to introduce yourself? You're new to the board.
Hello, everybody. My name is Melody McGuire. I am excited to be here today. It has been wonderful. I'm a national accreditation specialist and also the founder of the Early Childhood Educators Circle Time. And we are just excited to be a part of this process. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Excellent. And so without further ado, I'm not going to keep reiterating the history of Lakeshore Learning. Alex Page, the regional manager at Lakeshore here in Kentucky, has joined us on our live stream. So welcome, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing okay, Asia. Thank you so much for asking. And I'm so sorry that I'm not able to be there with you all in person today. I've got a fancy new attachment to me for the next 6 weeks following a recent shoulder surgery that I had last week. So apologize for, again, not being there today, but I'm so glad you guys were able to come out. And for everyone watching online, thank you all so much for allowing us to be a part of your all special day.
Excellent. So we just got done with this awesome tour, huge facility, brand new. And so I'm not going to tell the story of from beginning to end. I'm going to give you a few minutes to just tell us a little bit of history about Lakeshore, the startings with Miss Ethel Kaplan, and then how we got here to this beautiful distribution center here in Kentucky.
Absolutely. Yeah. So again, thank you for having me. So I'm Alex Page. I'm the regional manager here in Kentucky, covering the state of Kentucky for Lakeshore. And there's a rep in each one of the areas that every one of you live in. And if you have questions, Asia has my contact info, I assure you. So please get with Asia, and she can connect with me, and I can connect you. I'd be more than happy to connect you with the rep that's in your area. But just again, I'll start sharing my screen here and kind of walk you through the history of Lakeshore, and give you some visuals to help you with that, or to seeing is believing, I always say. So, all right, let me get to sharing. Okay, so again, 1954. Asia was starting to steal my thunder. I was like, Asia, don't give away the punchline. But no, so 1954. Very humble beginnings. Ethel Kaplan, who is a single mom, raised her two sons, Mike and Charlie, which you'll see here on the next slide. but they actually lived in Omaha, Nebraska, and she, in 1954, had a toy store there, moved out west with her two sons, just her and her two sons. And she was also an educator at heart. She spent, every waking hour developing toys. Initially, is how we started, was a toy store that we opened up in 1954 in Oakland, California on Lakeshore Avenue, hence the name Lakeshore. But, Ethelyn is an educator at heart. So everything she developed, every toy she sold, she made, herself. And it was all with intention of helping educate her sons and, and continuing the education they were receiving during the day at school, continuing that at night with them. So fast forward, almost 70 years, we now have Bo and Josh Kaplan running the company. And very, very recently, excited to share this news with you all, that we have brought in a co-CEO to run the company with Bo, alongside of Bo, and Josh is on the product development side, on the back end of the company, staying up with trends and staying up with, what we do very well, which I'll get into more here in just a moment. But our new co-CEO that will be starting very, very soon, his name is Charles Best. He is the founder of Donors Choose. If you have not heard of Donors Choose, I would recommend donorschoose.org. It's an amazing company, and they provide so much for any teachers, Head Start, public preschool across the entire U.S. So a great company. Their founding values match so well with Lakeshore's. I mean, we're a family company, and we take care of each other, and we also take care of our customers. So we stay. We've been able to excel in our market, and then our area of expertise by staying in our lane, right? Focusing on high quality, intentional products and materials for anyone from birth through really 12th grade with our furniture. So 85% roughly of the products that we sell, we solely manufacture all the way from the very beginning. Concept, researching, designing the product, testing the product, producing the product, manufacturing, and then warehouse and distributing. The only piece to the whole supply chain on 85% of the 10,000 plus different products that we have in our mix is the transportation piece. So being in Midway, Asia can attest to this, that, when you order something from us, especially her being, less than an hour from Midway in Louisville, Kentucky, you get it, within a day or two, typically of when it is ordered. But, we've been able to excel by focusing on the things that we are really good at, which again, high quality, intentional products, and really protecting our brand. So we have a ton of different, here's a quick snapshot of the progression of our company. Again, started very humbly at the beginning, and each, milestone on here, you can see that we have taken major steps along the way. And I'll be honest, I wish I could, see the next portion of this slide, fast forward and get a sneak peek into the crystal ball to see, what's next, because every day there's something new coming out, and it is a very exciting time here in the Lakeshore world. But we have, again, here's a look at the different catalog options that we have, from infants, toddlers, early childhood, through school aged. And we were really in touch with the state specific. Like in Kentucky, we use the Kentucky All-Stars rating to determine what a quality environment consists of. It's very similar to ECHRS, ITERS, whatever the age range ERS is. We stand behind our product. As I mentioned, brand and reputation is so vital to us, right? And if we're going to put our name on it, and it's going to be something that we, sell, we are going to test it well above what the federal guidelines are. I don't know if Asia got to see on the tour the product testing area that's been very recently added to the distribution center. But we are very intentional and, very protective of anything that we're going to put our name on. So we make sure that it is of the highest quality. But some of the ways that we can help you guys in your roles, in your centers, in your state, is our solutions department. So and that's going to be any kits. Now, the cool thing about our kits, like we have the flexibility to put together basically any assortment of products, right? I said 10,000 plus, products, individual products that we have in our entire product mix can be overwhelming if you are, saying, well, I just want to focus on improving the literacy skills in my 3-year-old or, pre-K classrooms. Well, that could be a little overwhelming. Let us do that for you. We could put together a suggested list of items, find what box or what bag or what backpack, whatever the housing mechanism might look like, to best fit those products. And you would, get this box arrived with however many different of these kits that you've ordered. They're all ready to go. We have an ePro site, which Asia could, again, attest to this. How easy, if you can operate like an Amazon account, our e-procurement site is a site dedicated. It looks and feels just like our public website, lakeshorelearning.com, but it is, specific to your account. It has all your account information in there. So it is, specific to you. We also offer professional development. If that is something that any of you would potentially need, we offer fully customizable trainings based on whatever your intended outcomes and learning objectives are for the training. We would meet with you beforehand, talk about your goals and outcomes that you expect from the training, and fully develop a customized training for you and your team. And again, I keep referencing you, Asia. Sorry, but this part of it is so helpful. If you're opening up a new classroom and it's top to bottom, brand new, you don't have anything for it, or if you have just pieces here and there, we can either from the blueprints or by coming out and measuring and drawing the space, we can put together a suggested full classroom list based on which product line or which furniture line you have preference for. If it's the Birch line, if it's our mobile Flex Junior line, if it's for school age kids, our mobile Flex line, which is a little bit taller than the Flex Junior. Whatever your preferences are, we can take that into account, give it to our creative design team, and they show you what this furniture would look like in your space based on your budget, based on the enrollment and the ages of the kids in the room. So here's actually one example of the most recent layout for Asia's second most recent new center that she just opened up here in Louisville. And this room came together very, very nicely. Last time I was there, it was looking beautiful. So I've done this a few times with Asia, and each time, it's flexible, right? And Asia, I think, would agree with this. Like, we provide this list. If you don't have maybe the budget to do the whole thing from the very, top to bottom right out of the start, or if you have, multiple kind of mix and match random pieces from an old center or somewhere that you've collected, and you're like, all right, I can use this visual to picture how much room that item that I have would take up in the space, and supplement and keep the list that would come along with, the classroom layout that we provide to, eventually piece together little by little to get it to the full classroom. So here's, general contact information. If you are in another state and you want to connect with the rep in your area, or if you, just want to reach out to Asia or myself, I would be more than happy to connect with anyone on here that would have questions and want to connect with their rep in their state to learn more about how we could possibly help you guys.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Alex. Definitely enjoyed your presentation. I do believe we have just a few questions. And then if anybody else is streaming at this time, looking at the stream, they may have a question. So I'll just go around the room. I believe we have some questions from our board members.
Sure.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I'm so glad we got an opportunity to take a sneak peek and talk childcare to me classroom. Really, really love that. So one of my questions for you today is how do you ensure the quality of your classrooms and the materials that you use? What I noticed when we walked around the facility, as far as a business model, you all have done a wonderful job with your checks and balances. But I want you, if you don't mind elaborating, how do you make sure that the curriculum and the material that you produce to the public falls in line with providing high quality school settings?
Yeah, so one piece to that, as I mentioned during the presentation, we are very good at staying in our lane. So we don't have any curriculum. Like we don't develop curriculum. We also don't do like anything technology based. We focus solely on providing high quality intentional materials that are hands on. It really gives the children a concrete something they can hold, to manipulate, to have in hand, to really make that or bridge that learning objective for whatever that would be. And I mean, if you've got any of our products, then that if it's a Lakeshore exclusive product, which means it's one that falls into that 85% of everything we sell, it comes with a very concise twofold piece of paper in there that basically breaks down and explains, this is the product, here's the pieces to it, and this is what it's intended for. If it's to improve fine motor, if it's to improve literacy, numeracy, whatever it could be, and here's some different ways that you could use it. So if you're a parent at home with a kid, if you're a grandparent, caregiver, whomever, or if you're a teacher in a classroom, a newer teacher, if you're a teacher in an after school program, helping out in the summer where you're learning education, early childhood education, but haven't quite, fully mastered it yet, you have a basic step-by-step how-to guide to get the most out of that product. So anything that we would have, again, is supplemental to any curriculum that is, being used in any stage, any age classroom that's out there. And if you've ordered anything from us, everything we have is kind of heavy, right? And I realized that when I first started working with Lakeshore, I was like, everything is heavy. Like it's well built and thoroughly tested. I don't know if during the tour, if you guys got to go by the product testing area and see that up by the front in the inbound area. But if not, make sure on your all's way out later today, you just stop by and take a peek at that. It's pretty cool how, you breaks down what the government requires and then what we require in the product testing. And if there were to be a damaged piece, as I said, during the whole supply chain, the only piece we don't own is transportation. And I don't know if you've received anything from any shipper in the last, 2 years, crazy stuff happens when things are in transit, right? So if something arrives from us and it has been damaged in transit, call me. Like you're not going to upset me, and I'm sorry for any inconvenience it would have caused, but I promise you, we're going to ship you a replacement, right away.
Yeah, I can definitely co-sign for Lakeshore. So to piggyback off of your comment, Melody, so when receiving the renderings, you do have a spreadsheet that you receive. And in that spreadsheet, it does break down the ITERs. All of the materials will align with ITERs and ECHRs. Most states have the QRIS system in place, and so they typically use those environmental rating scale books. And so it will tell you that this material will meet this standard on that environmental rating scale. So even though Alex may have not have delved into that piece, I did take the time, and it's a hefty spreadsheet, but all of the materials pretty much align to every single one of those quality guidelines for providing quality care. So hats off to Lakeshore, because they made our job a lot easier for making sure that we were able to sustain our quality rating in our center. All right.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Alex, Lakeshore's primary customer base, I'm assuming, is that of large, like school districts throughout the U.S., correct?
I mean, that based on the sheer volume that, a public school system would offer, I would say that that's probably our largest, particular customer base. But we serve, anyone who is serving someone who is 0 to, 18 years old could be potentially our customer, including, a grandparent at home or, someone, caregiver, whomever, like anyone who has a child from, 0 to 12th grade, is going to be someone who could be our customer for sure.
Are you all able to work with customers outside of the United States, Canada, Mexico, the islands? You are able to ship and do business with those individuals as well?
Yes, actually. So I was able to go to NACE in Washington, D.C. this past November, the week right before Thanksgiving. My first time ever attending a national conference. It was so amazing. Like it was so cool to be there in person, but actually met a group of 13 ladies who traveled 29 hours from Singapore to attend, to go to NACE. And they were like, they walked up and they were like, we're from Singapore. We just got here. We've been on a plane for 29 hours and we love Lakeshore. You guys are the very best. I was like, I didn't even know we were. That's fantastic.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we reach a lot of places all across the world.
Right. So for those smaller operators, your independent owners, operators of childcare, independent childcare, how do you all work with a company? Say, for instance, I come in and I need to outfit a brand new school, but my budgetary constraints won't allow me to do so. Do you offer any type of financing? And if so, what is that? What does a qualified person looks like, or a business looks like, to be able to receive financing from you to purchase your products?
Sure. Yeah. And before I start on that, Asia, I know if you want to jump in at any point, if you got anything to add, or that I might leave off, please feel free to. But we have a credit application. If you are interested in setting up an account, to be billed for Lakeshore, traditionally we bill on a 30-day cycle. So if you ordered, say, $5,000 worth of materials and furniture today, within when you receive the last item from your order, we would expect, payment in 30 days from that point. But that is all based on, it's honestly a case-by-case basis. And we use our finance team uses business references. That is one of the things that we ask for when we send that credit application to you. We reach out to the references and, usually within a week to 2 weeks max, really just depends on how quickly those references get back to us. But from there, you would have an account set up with, your specific to your account. Asia, was there anything else I forgot to mention or left off?
No, you didn't leave anything else off. Again, it really goes back to building your business credit appropriately, and it's not just your run-of-the-mill regular interactions with lower level or lower tier lower tier companies. So you do have to have some credit history there. The team, the finance team they do a great job with investigating, following up on those references, making sure that the business is credible to be able to get those quality products. Because again, it's an investment. You do have to look at that, high quality. It is an investment in that furniture. Lakeshore's furniture lasts for a very long time. So once you make that investment, you'll definitely see the value out of that. And if anything is ever delivered and it's broken, again, you're going to get support on the front end. You'll probably get out of shipment probably within the next 24 to 48 hours. So we've been through a lot of that. I know that is a lot of concern with operators. So again, your money's well spent. So go through the process of making sure that you have that financing in place, because again, as a lower level operator, it can get quite expensive furnishing a full school right out the door. Alex and I just had this conversation. However, again, it is worth the investment.
Alex, what type of lead time does one need to order? For instance, I'm outfitting a school. I'm doing a new construction, for example, and I've gone through the process of getting the plans. Everything's laid out. Your team has met with us and said, okay, this is the furniture that'll fit in that room. These are the pieces that you need. What type of lead time can one expect in order to receive that materials from the date of purchase?
So one thing, now that you're asking that question, and thank you for that question. That's a fantastic question there. So I left this off the presentation. I apologize. Any order that you place that's $20,000 or more shipping to the same location, So if you're opening up a new center, multiple rooms, you'll easily surpass that amount. That automatically qualifies for our free white glove service. So what that is where we would come out the day of delivery, which let me pause there and address your specific question. If you ordered, say, a full classroom today, whether it's $20,001 or $220,000, like whatever it could be, we would be able to arrange delivery approximately 2 weeks from the date that we'd receive your order. And that it could fluctuate just a little bit, either shorter, like in Asia's instance, or anyone who's, within an hour or two from where you guys are sitting today. We've turned them around even quicker than that. But, if you're further out, further away, or if you're in the middle of the country, it could be a little bit longer than that just based on transit time. But we do have our distribution center in California as well. So we don't house everything in stock there in Midway. Some items are only housed in California. And honestly, like if Asia called me today and said, hey, here's, I'm opening up a new center. I need $60,000 worth of, all that gets ironed out. There's a good chance that, one or two pieces or more would have to come from California. So, it would be, that's why I say 2 weeks. But if it was all there in Midway, we could arrange it within, a few days.
And tell us about this white glove service you were speaking about.
Yeah, no, so that's where we would come out, unload. We would arrange, the workers to get there. And that takes a little bit of time, too, to confirm workers' availability. Because each person who does our setups, is a trained, Lakeshore independent contractor. And we always have a supervisor who is, a Lakeshore representative on site at any install that we would do. But they would essentially need to coordinate that. So that can take a few days to confirm availability and who could be at that location at a given date. But once that's set in stone, we'd arrive, shortly before the truck delivers, unload the truck, unbox the materials. And if we've done layouts like the version that I shared, with you all that I did for Asia, we would set it up to the specifics of that room. Otherwise, if we haven't done layouts, we could set it up, to the best of our ability. If you have preferences, which is most often the case, the teacher in the room has more say than anything, and they're usually involved in that, saying, this is kind of my vision of the room. Ultimately, though, however we set it up, whether it's the most, ideal design, it's going to get changed eventually, by the teacher is what often happens most. But yeah, that's what that looks like. And then we take away the trash at the end, all the cardboard and debris, which there's a lot of for each delivery, because as I mentioned, the woes of transit carriers and damages, things like that, as much packaging as we put into every single item to make sure that even if this thing fell off of the back of the truck on the highway as it's driving, it should be okay. But somehow things still sometimes do get damaged. But there's a lot of debris that we clean up too. So
you made one point. I have two more questions and I'm gonna be done. And that question, the first question is, you mentioned being a certified, I guess I would call it an assembly person, someone that's gone through Lakeshore's processes to be able to be a certified individual to come in and install and assemble the furniture. What is it? What does it look like? Is that a 2-week process, or and how does one qualify to be a part of it?
Actually, so that's another fantastic question. So my wife, for instance, is a preschool teacher here in Louisville. So, she, during the school year, unless it's spring break or fall break or summertime, she's in a classroom. So she's one of our seasonal people that we would, keep on our roster. And like, for instance, I have approximately 50 people across the state that we call on whenever there's an install. If your center is based in Hazard, Kentucky, or Northern Kentucky, Bowling Green, wherever you might be, we have a few people, or depending on the bigger the city, we have a lot of people that live in that area, and we would reach out, coordinate to those people that are signed up to work. And anyone can sign up on our website. And there's also on my email signature, which I know I've sent one or two emails to Asia in the past. So she has that link. I'm sure she could share that with you guys. If anyone's interested, you got to be 18 years old or older, have reliable transportation. we do a background check because, we're dealing with childcare facilities, school districts, buildings, things like that. So you got to be able to, pass a background check to be one of our certified workers. But the time frame on how long it takes to go from someone in training to potentially like a supervisor, like my wife has done, it really it's working where I or the regional manager in that state is working alongside of them, training them throughout the process, showing them, explaining each step of it along the way, and then signing off that, I've done 4 or more jobs with this person, and I'm confident of their ability to represent our brand, without me there, and they're able to do it on their own. The pay, most important punchline I left off there, $155 a day, for an entry, your first job, or up to until you get promoted to, a lead or a supervisor, you'd make $155 a day. And that's regardless if you work, 2 hours or, 8 hours on the day. It's $155 plus a driving incentive for any mileage to and from the job that you'd encounter.
That's good. That's good. And my last question. If you had to impart a message on the NCOA to take out to its membership, what is the message that Lakeshore Learning would like to distribute to the NCOA via the NCOA to its membership?
Yeah, I was not prepared for that question. That is a great question as well. No, I think the biggest takeaway is whatever your need is. If it's, just one center, if it's or like one center within your classroom, dramatic play, whatever it could be, or if it's an entire center, or if it's, we need help with professional development, like whatever it is, reach out, excuse me, sorry. Reach out to me or reach out to, your representative in whatever state you might be in, and see if we can't help you. I promise we'll let you know that. We'll be fully transparent, like this is out of our wheelhouse. But being as connected as we all are, me and my counterparts in other states, we deal with anyone from, state level all the way down to, a teacher or in a classroom at a private childcare, a Head Start, school district, you name it. We're very well in touch with everything going on in the state, at all levels. So we have a connection or a contact that I'm sure we could make, with you if we can't help you with whatever.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks.
Thank you all.
So much, Alex, for your time today. I know we've had some bumps in the road. However, we really do appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry again that I'm not able to be there with you all today. Hopefully you got everything smoothed out, taken care of, and enjoy the rest of your time there.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
All right, and we're back. So awesome presentation by Mr. Alex Page. Again, his contact information, we will be sure to put that up on the National Childcare Owners Association page. So just in case you're looking in the market for high quality furniture in your area, Alex can get you started and reach out to your local representative and hopefully get you guys some access to some lines of credit so we can get some of this raise this high quality and get your senators accredited, raise just everything. So next segment that we're going to talk about is this awesome tour that we were just on here at the distribution center. We've got some reactions by a few of our board members, but it's an awesome place to be. Miss Julie Maxwell, how did you like today's tour?
The tour was phenomenal. I have been a supporter of Lakeshore for many, many years now. They helped me open my home program, my group program, and several of our centers. We were able to obtain a business line of credit with Lakeshore, which really, really, really helped out in terms of going from the home to group. My group center was only 12 children. My home was only 6 children. So stepping into a building automatically for 60 kids, our next building was a 60 kid building. We did not have enough furniture from the home in a group to fill the space. So we needed Lakeshore to come in. Their representative was able to come in. We had a Lakeshore outlet in our area at that time, which I took my Scooby-Doo church van up to the Lakeshore outlet and loaded as much as I could from their outlet into our van to get into our facility. So it really was helpful. The fact that we had that 30-day window in Philadelphia, our Philadelphia centers were paid once a month. So if I knew I ordered something on the 1st, but I wasn't getting paid from the state until the 20th, having those 30 days grace period was really a blessing. So I could appreciate that. So seeing the facility today, knowing that this is one of the places where a lot of the fulfillment orders go out, I love that it was so systematically put in place, that everything is a touch point. Everything is a validation point. It's almost like, you know, when the children go to leave from the center, if they're coming from a teacher in the back, there's always somebody towards the front that does a quality check. They make sure that no kids leave with snotty noses, no crust in their eyes, no dust in their hair. They make sure they have their coat, their backpack. So I love that that same system was in place here to have those quality touch points. And then I love that they had a warehouse management system. The system is what makes everything be successful. And it just goes back to what we've often talked about as childcare owners. When you have proper systems in place, your centers can flow and operate a lot better because it's a chain of command. It's not just all on you. Oftentimes as owners, we put everything on us. We carry all the weight on our shoulders. But if you have a proper system in place, instead of crazy cycles, you would be a lot better off. So to see a wonderful facility like this, I think he said it was 500,000 square feet. 500,000 square feet. And I mean, I have not heard a bell or a whistle going off while we've been here to let us know something is broken down. And that's because they have a system for everything. I think he also said they mailed out over 1 million orders last year, and they only had 13 out of over 1 million orders, only 13 had some type of error that could have been like eliminated by a human or something like that. So I think that's a great standard. I think that's an awesome standard. So yeah.
Yes, today was amazing. Okay, guys, I have a family childcare, private preschool is what we have. And for me, I understand that it's important to invest. Even when you're a small program, you can still invest in quality items that you place within your center or your program so that parents can see, because a lot of times our parents don't understand or don't know exactly what it takes for us to provide what we need to for their children. Mm-hmm. So when they walk in the door and they see these the quality within from just the small toys to the big setups, they really get it that, okay, they are really here to educate my children, to care perfectly for my children. Another thing that I love about Lakeshore is a lot of us are really big on our brand. That's what sets us apart. I was talking with one of the managers, and he was telling me about, even if they don't get a color right, then they have someone available to do the emails, just to talk to the customer when a color is off. And I told him that's really important to me, because I really base a lot of things on not only does it fit with the Eckerd and those things, and the Missouri, I'm in Missouri, so the Missouri Standards of Education, it also fits my brand. Mm-hmm. So if I need something that is a turquoise color, I'm shopping like that. And that's what I love, that they even have it set up in their catalogs that way. Mm-hmm. Some things are based just on the type of material that it's built with. So I love all that. But it's in another thing for me, I love cleanliness. It's so clean. It smells good walking through this place. I was talking to Melanie about this. Like, you don't smell anything bad. It smells really nice. So that just goes to show how much they put into it. So when you open that box, Even the box smell good. I don't know if y'all, but I am, okay? So that's one of the things that I loved.
All right, for the sake of time, I'm gonna be real brief. I gotta piggyback off what you said. I noticed that the facility is very clean. Also, safety is the top priority here at the center. I talked to the gentleman and he said it's been over 90 days since the last incident. And it was a very minor incident.
I love it.
So that speaks volumes of how much they plan and process everything here at this facility. I was very impressed, and I could tell that they take pride in their work, and you can see where the love comes from the facility to when you open up that box and get your product.
Today has been great. Piggybacking on that, we are talking about women in history, women in childcare. One thing that I noticed in the warehouse that they have a lot of women.
Yes.
They had a lot of women. It's not a male-dominated warehouse. They had a lot of women that were literally taking their time, going through and making sure those orders were accurate. And so that's one thing that stood out to me. And secondly, quality control, like how they check quality. And it puts me in the mind of, we always say that we provide quality. And if you're providing quality, you have to have all of these little checkpoints to ensure that your quality is not being watered down once you train someone of your standards. And I like the fact that each quality checkpoint had another checkpoint to ensure that the quality is not lost in the process. So a lot of times our quality get lost in the process. It's just to see how at each point it had a checkpoint. It had a quality checkpoint to ensure when you put this item in this box and it goes into the outbound, that it's still in shape. It's still quality from the box to the color to the package to the label. And just being able to offer the value adds. You know, when you have like value adds in your business, that's saying that it's not always about what you're giving me, what you're paying me for. I'm going to go above and beyond to ensure that I'm not only giving you quality, but I'm giving you things that you want as a customer that I don't necessarily offer, but I'm gonna add this on just because I'm giving quality service. So it's those things for me to make me say Lakeshore set the standards. It let us know that no matter what business you're in, business is business, and quality and checkpoints is very, very important to ensure that everything that you envision go forward.
Today was one of the experiences where I say that as an owner and as a leader, when you have the opportunity to provide onboarding, but then also team building activities, this is one of the places that I would bring my staff to, so that they can see the business of the business and be able to see how we start from where how we answer the phone, from when someone comes and pulls up on the parking lot. How does it look outside? Who's at the front desk? Are they presentable? Are they friendly? Are the restrooms clean? I mean, the way that this organization has shown me today from a micro level to a macro level to a nano, or when I say micro, from just as simple as how the building is looking, from the macro to what are we providing our customers, and from the nano to just in this one place, how they can service all over the world. And as it has been shared by our colleagues, systems, providing quality, but having something to check. One of the things that we talked about, and I can't wait until we share more content, is how they cross-train. And whereas when we see people come in and they say, oh, well, I only want to work in the infant room, or I only want to do this. But when it comes to providing a full-scale business, at this organization, they cross-train people. You are an expert at being an infant teacher, but today we may just need you in the toddler classroom so that they're cross-training their people. Not only that, with their onboarding process, they have a system and they have the times of how long it will take, but they also leave room for improvement. They leave room for if another person needs to take a little bit longer. They also acknowledge if a person is in and out of the onboarding because they also may have experience. So just looking at how they systematize it, but then also how, as early childhood educators, we respect the individual learners. And this is something that they do in this building. So I would strongly suggest, as owners, when we also are looking at team building activities, not just inside of the center, but even if you can visit a colleague or a sister center within your area, if you can find a business that is running in high quality and take a tour so that people can come out of the shift of the mindset of, oh, it's just me in my classroom, it's just me and my four, no more. That's not how the business runs. And I love one of the things that we also implement in the center is having a buddy system. Whereas from day one, we're pairing them with someone who we know that is reliable, someone who we know that knows the system and is going to help them all throughout. They constantly are also checking up on their staff members, and that's how you're going to also ensure the quality. One of the managers said that they make sure that they put the people before the process. We have businesses and they're valuable businesses, but one thing that we also have to make sure is that the people that we have in those businesses understand our mission, our value, and that they understand our systems. Today, for me, has just been wonderful. I wish we could just take you all with us, but stay tuned.
Take you all with us. That's an interesting statement. Because as a member with the NCOA, we have access to certain facets, and this is one of them. This is my second time here at this warehouse. One of their values here at Lakeshore is innovation. We talk about, how we're supposed to bring the childcare industry forward and make it apply to real life situations. And so we've all been through this experience of COVID, the pandemic, and I know it's all of these words that we just keep using, and it's just like, I just don't want to keep associating the center and our operations with that. So how do we begin to move forward and step forward and move into this this next phase of childcare is by coming together, and being a member of the NCOA has its perks. And so one of those is, you have experts, you have access to training, you have access to all the different benefits that we've been promoting, and we have a lot more that's coming forth in the NCOA. And so as we move forward and we bring out these new processes, talk about some new offers that we have, we want you guys to join us. We want you guys to join us in this, I'm not going to say this fight, in this area of being a change agent for our industry. And so I thank you guys for joining us today on Childcare Chats. It's been a phenomenal experience here at Lakeshore Distribution Center to just see the behind the scenes of how we are able to provide services each and every day. And it's not just bringing your child into the center and just teaching them. We have to have materials to be able to do our job in full. So thank you guys for joining us on our Childcare Chats Lab here at Lakeshore Distribution Center. We most definitely will see you guys soon in our next episode in April. Oh, and I'm sorry. It looks like we have a few people that's in our comments section. We got some comments saying hi, Coach Dav. So I'm in home. let's see here. She says, in the home as well, striving for quality as well. Definitely get on Lakeshore's website. Definitely check out the NCOA. We have a few trainings brought forth by their executives that teaches how to apply some of their materials into a high quality setting. We have a few of our board executives that has training on there as well. So definitely become a member. We would love to see you soon. We're getting ready to do our raffle for those that's watching. Lakeshore left us some goodies in a bag for you all. I'm not going to show the raffle. I'm not going to show what's in this bag, but it looks like we have a few people that's watching. It will show up on the side of the screen who all joined our StreamYard today, our stream today, and we will announce that on our page, but we do have our bag full of goodies. So it will be raffled off, and we will put our winner up there, and we will actually have something, another special gift to give you along with this gift of love from Lakeshore. So I hope to see you guys soon. Check us out on the www.thencoa.org. Talk to you soon.
See you.